All right. Welcome, everyone, for this new month of nature healing, where we're continuing to explore one topic for the whole month. Last month, we worked with Antarctica, and we were really taken by the vastness and the depth, especially of the ice and the blue of the flipped ice, and that resonant healing field that we connected with the blue ice. And in our last session, we held grief and awe simultaneously, and just this big unmanifest potential. And now in March, for us right now, we're moving into spring, many of us, and we've had almost a month of the Lunar New Year with the fire horse. So we're going to go from the vast unmanifest into the energy of the fire horse and horses in general for this month. So I will share a presentation that is actually from last year that Megan lovingly crafted, and we'll get to go through the slides again this year, which will be wonderful given that it's Fire Force year. So I will share my screen and welcome everyone. I love seeing everyone's faces. All right. Okay, as we do, we will begin with Dr. Peng's 8 verses. And right now they are set on this image that Teacher Wei shared for the Lunar New Year. So we can allow this image and these verses to sink into our fields as we find our Qigong postures, rooting to the earth beneath us, straightening the spine, tucking the chin, and lifting the head to the heaven. Head touches sky, feet stand on earth, body relaxes, and the mind expands. Be respectful and quiet. Mind is clear and appearance is humble. No distracting thoughts. Mind expands into infinite space. Feel the mind shining into the body deeply and inwardly. Entire body is harmonized with qi. Harmonized with qi. Horses. This is a lovely phrase. We don't know who first said it, but it's one of those timeless sentiments. Carry your horse's steps in your heart, and you will always go the right way. And it's so beautiful because it has that movement of the horse, the steps, as well as that connection between humans and horses and our heart, and this connection guiding us on the path that we're meant to follow. Oh, also this lovely horse in the slideshow is Abigail, Rena's horse from last year, and the lovely young woman is Rena. And there she is, enjoying her beautiful horse on a beautiful day. And in this photo, it captures this idea of horses as masters of presence and their massive heart fields, which we will look into a little deeper later on in the presentation, bring us into coherent states, which we just worked into a coherent state with Dr. Peng's 8 verses. So horses have that same type of energy. And connecting with that type of energy is the horse's slow blink. And if you're not familiar with it, a slow blink is when a horse softens the muscles around the eyes, lowers the eyelids slightly, closes the eyes slowly, then opens them just as slowly. And it's often paired with a relaxed head, loose lips, and even a sigh. And the slow blink is a clear, gentle social signal of relaxation, trust, and emotional softness. And horses will slow blink with each other as well as humans, and it communicates that sense of safety and relaxation. The slow blink is often viewed as mutual presence, heart connection, or energetic exchange, much like the ease, Mingjue love, and connection we feel in the collective consciousness field. And we can even take a moment here to gaze into these lovely horse eyes, and knowing that we have our community of baby hearts here and our larger community of the collective consciousness field. And we can bring that soft awareness of the field and of the horses into our own eyes. And just check in with your eyes, maybe blink a few times, notice any tension, and take a few deep breaths. And if it feels good, invite the eyes to soften, the head to relax, the mouth and the jaw loosening, even sighing a little. And as you sigh, you may find the eyes want to practice the slow blink, that gentle, relaxed closing. Mm. Mm. Just practicing a few times. Mm. Mm. Noticing if this shifts the nervous system at all or any sensations that follow the slow blink. And we can carry this relaxation of the slow blink through the rest of the presentation as we explore some information about horses. And we can just let this information wash through our field, flowing and absorbing as it wills. The horse's evolution. Horses, Equus ferus, emerged 55 million years ago in North America, and they migrated to Asia and Europe across the Bering Strait. Then horses disappeared from North America 10,000 years ago, and they were first domesticated around 3500 BCE on the steppes of Central Asia. And then horses were reintroduced to North America by Spanish settlers in the late 1400s. And with this reintroduction of horses to North America, the horse became an indispensable partner, a central pillar around which the entire fabric of plains and additional Native American societies were rewoven. And in that, in this own North American continent, we had this merging of horses and humans, which through history we've had that. And that ties back to the opening quote, with holding our horses' steps in our heart. It shows this closeness that developed through history. Interestingly as well, the wild horses, they spread out, but then with this disappearance and transformation of horses, there are actually no true wild horses alive anymore. All wild horses are feral, which means they originate from domesticated lines, which is fascinating. I didn't know that until last year, and I've been sitting with it this whole time. So it's fascinating. And here are some horse facts. Horses are prey animals. Their behavior is heavily influenced by an instinct to flee threats. They are social, which the slow blink, I think, helps us see what that looks like for them also. And they find safety in their herd and in forming strong relationships. They are also grazers, eating for about 15 hours a day, which is more than most of us. So it's a different way of relating. And here we can see the horses kind of in this relaxed state. That's Abigail again, and then some of her horse friends. We see the grazing and the companionship and just an ease. Horses have sensitive hearing and can rotate their ears independently of one another and nearly 180 degrees around. They also have large eyes, the largest of any land mammal, and that gives them nearly 360-degree vision. And their only two blind spots are directly in front and then directly behind. This is where we look a little deeper into the coherence that the horse's heart field helps humans reach. The studies conducted by HeartMath provide a clue to explain the bi-directional healing that happens when we are near horses. A magnetometer measures the energy field of the human heart to be about 8 to 10 feet around the body. So we can kind of imagine 8 to 10 feet all the way around us. And then the electromagnetic field projected by a horse's heart is 5 times larger. So we see that 10 feet around us, and then we go out 5 more times. So if we're anywhere near a horse, we are resting in their heart field, and our heart field is in their heart field. So their heart field kind of wraps ours in a hug. And we have a lovely visual here where we can see the expansiveness of the horse's heart and then our little human heart field tucked in there. The horse's EMF field is also stronger than ours and directly influences our own heart rhythm. And given this connection that we can have with horses and the way that their heart field can hold our heart field in its entirety, it's no surprise that intuitive horseback riding has a strong history among tribes here and people around the world, and also today, as we can see in this photo of the woman practicing archery while the horse is jumping. uh, so experienced equestrians can use minimal aids. The horse is listening to their heartbeat, breath, and energetic presence rather than mechanical cues. So us being absorbed in this field, the horse can connect to us, to our signatures, to exactly where our energy is in the moment. When rider and horse synchronize their nervous systems, they move as one being. The horse can feel the rider's intentions before conscious commands. So that means that communication happens before we've even put it into language. So it's pre-verbal, this pre-verbal understanding. Horses read micro movements in posture and muscle tension. One's breath alone can guide a horse. Horses mirror our nervous system state. I'm just going to have that sink in a little bit. The harmonizing there that happens with horses and humans and that history that our ancestors would have all known. So I'll just let that settle in a little. Mm. No surprise either. Horses are steeped in mythology. Here is a brief overview of a few examples. In Greek myth, Pegasus's hooves opened the sacred spring of inspiration at the Muses' grove. So these feet, again, that movement, the steps of the horse, it goes again back to that quote. It's opening this inspiration. It's opening a connection to what was previously unavailable to us. And Chiron, the centaur, half human, half horse, taught the healing arts to Asclepius, god of medicine. And the white mare appears across cultures as the goddess, from Celtic Epona to Demeter's horse form. And then we see Poseidon's gift of horses from the sea, bridging the conscious and unconscious realms. And that's where we see horses acting as psychopomps, so helping bring us from this, brick and mortar concrete reality into the less formed realms, so we can connect to information that may otherwise not be available to us. And horse symbolism. Wind horse, or lungta in Tibetan or kitori in Mongolian, represents our vital essence that must both run free and serve a purpose. I love this because you would think serving a purpose might limit running free, but they need to go hand in hand. It's this freedom with some kind of shaping or direction almost. Ancient shamans called their drums horses, vehicles for journeying between worlds. And that goes with that conscious to unconscious realms. The horse appears in dreams as a mirror of our life force. Its condition reflects our own vitality. So we could intentionally choose to dream with horses, and in so doing, we would connect or could connect directly with our life force. And when we dream of gathering wild horses, we may be calling our scattered energies home. I want to draw our attention to this lovely image. This is, my understanding is this is Suan with a beautiful healing horse from a retreat that she did last year. And hopefully sometime this month she'll be able to share a little bit more with us because I know it was a beautiful experience. Mm. This is a lovely contribution from Karen. She painted this horse. And it feels to me that it transfers the essence of the energy that we're working with here of horses. I invite us just to receive the beauty. Thank you, Karen. I know I'll be sitting with this painting throughout this month, so thank you. I thought we would conclude the formal presentation on this fire horse image that Teacher Wei shared, because as we all know, it's the year of the fire horse. And what that means is everything that we've explored and that we will explore is kind of wrapped up and heightened by this energy of the horse this year. And there's also the element of fire. I'll just share a little bit of fire horse information. The fire horse is described as one of the most intense, rare, and powerful combinations in the 60-year Chinese zodiac cycle. It merges the horse's movement, independence, action, and forward momentum with the fire element's passion, volatility, transformation, and boldness. And I feel like this image holds all of that in it. It's bold, it's transforming, it's movement, it's that whole thing's experience of horse. And together, fire and horses create a year of dynamic, disruptive, creative, and high octane energy. We may experience heightened life force, which also makes sense because the horse can be a representative of our life force, and also increased inner fire. And we also may see increased courage, authenticity, and self-liberation. And this year encourages bold decisions, creative projects, personal reinvention, and physical movement. Essentially, we are supported in breaking and burning up old reference frameworks. And given this invitation of the fire horse, what calls this year? Where does the energy flow? And where does the energy feel restricted? And how might the fire horse support what arises? And that is the official presentation. Thank you. And thank you, Megan, for the presentation.
Thanks for making it sound so good.
If anyone has anything that wants to be shared about horses or the fire horse or this year, anything that wants to arise. Yeah.
Well, it kind of answered a question for me. Um, I had been, when at some point in your writing it said that this month will, or the 3 weeks will be about anything that has to do with horses. And when I was a kid, I had had this memory for a long time. My sister had a horse when we were living out in the country, and we didn't have much money or much resources, and things were not good much of the time. But there was this place that we called the Horse Run, which was just a sort of a fenced in place. And after an extremely traumatic event when I was 6, the memory I had was of me having gone to hide in the horse run. And it wasn't really hiding very much because there wasn't a lot of undergrowth in there because horses hang around in this space and eat the undergrowth. But during this last presentation by Teacher Wei, during this module, something opened in me, and suddenly I was there in the horse run, and my heart was just shattered, and I found myself in the presentation just holding my heart and rocking myself. What struck me with the presentation was how strong the horse's heart vibrations are. Because it's very likely the horse was in the horse run at the same time, just not hanging out actively with me. And that was my sense of it being a safe, healing place. But I had no idea why. So thank you for the heart math addition, because it just brought me back to that safe, healing place.
That's a beautiful story. Thank you. I'm feeling your small 6-year-old self going and resting in that horse's heart field. I mean, that was such a wise place to go.
Yeah, and I didn't even know it. But the horse's name was Sparky, and we weren't allowed to do much with Sparky because he was basically a big old workhorse. But somebody gave him to my sister, so that was her horse. The only time I remembered being on it was at some point somebody put all 5 of us little girls on Sparky's back, and Sparky kind of plodded around. But it was a surprise to feel myself go, to feel that memory come back so integrated in the horse run this last week. So thank you all for listening and being here.
Thank you, Angie. It's a very powerful share.
I've heard many accounts of people having really profound mothering experiences with horses. Just experiences where a horse was able to connect with them in a way that they had yearned for, and maybe in a way that their actual mother wasn't able to connect with them. It's a theme I continually hear, and maybe speaks to the capacity of, I mean, maybe all animals, but for sure horses who have such a relationship with humans, right? All of them have genetic memories of interdependence with humans. And they're just such big presence. It just naturally makes us feel small and like we're a child again and being mothered again. Yeah, those big eyes, etc. Anyway, that's another aspect of this fire horse year, maybe then too. Hopefully. So far, it's just felt really, really kinetic and challenging. Hala. Energetically, challenging energetically. It's big energy. Yeah.
That's how it's been for me too, though I feel like I'm only 2 or 3 weeks into it, but oh
Yeah.
my goodness, has it been energetically challenging.
So much changes. It just feels like everything's like shifting and changing. Like things are ending, things are beginning, and it's all this shuffling. And I think I'm reaching my limit to like my nervous system's like comfort. But that's okay. It's Hala. It's all good. Hala. Yeah, it's a growing time. So anyway, yeah, thank you.
Yeah, Lillian?
I was pretty young. I was probably maybe 7 or maybe 8. And we were up north in the boreal forest on a lake called Biscotese. Yeah, it's right. My grandparents settled when they came from Finland in early 1900s. And there was a workhorse there, and I was staying with my grandparents. My parents weren't there. And of course, my cousin said, "You can't go on the horse, it will buck you off, eh? It's wild." And of course, at that age, I believed. And so I would go to see the horse, and my grandfather would give me a carrot out of the garden to feed the horse. And I'd have my hand up his teeth, and that horse never ever touched its teeth on my hand. It was so gentle. I always remember the feel, and sometimes it would be like a different things I would give the horse to eat like that. And the horse, I just pat it and see when it was in the barn. And I went in the lake one day by myself, and I was in the water, and I turned around, and guess who was there?
Mm.
Sandy the horse. And I've always regretted not just climbing on the horse's back at that point. I was pretty young then at that time, but there was a real love affair. I just absolutely loved that beautiful horse. It was a workhorse, and I guess we felt each other's feel. And I'm just delighted to hear how strong the horses' feels are. Because I've always been attracted to horses. And when we were in the United Kingdom in 2005, we went to the Royal Majesty's horses, and you could go to see, and the gate was open, and you could just look. And the keeper in there said, "And the horse will never look at you, will not look at you." And so I talked to the horse, and the horse looked at me, and the keeper was absolutely shocked. He said, "This doesn't happen." And I said, I felt my heart, and I just said, "Just love that horse." And yeah, well, the Queen's horse looked at me.
Mhm.
Yeah. Anyways, thank you very much.
Oh, thank you, Lily. Yeah. Both of those. I'm loving your little child. We have another little child self in the heart field of a horse. And then this horse that you brought your heart to looked at you. I mean, we know how powerful the gaze of the horse is. Yeah.
Yeah. And there's one of the girls I know is an artist. She's an artist, and she does animals, eh? And she has painted the eye of the horse in a workshop one time, and she does. It's you would think this is absolutely real. And she does it with charcoal and colored pencils, and I always see that. It's in my mind's image. When I saw that today, I thought, wow. And I realized I know whose horse it is. It was one of the girls I would sing with, because they knew each other. Yeah. So, anyways, thank you.
Yeah, thank you. We're holding the heart field of horses as well as the eyes. Yeah. And our little child selves. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, Karen and Gary.
Well, I've always loved horses, and I started riding when I was a kid, and I used to muck out stalls so I could ride for free. So I couldn't afford to pay for to ride the horses, but they've always been really special to me. I feel some connection or attraction.
Yeah. Yeah. Another young person in the field. Yeah, yeah.
I have a story of an old person in the field. I didn't grow up around horses, so I didn't know much about them. And I was out in Ogallala, and people were riding horses. And so I thought, well, I can ride a horse. And I had a cowboy hat. And I got on the horse. And I just realized tonight why. it didn't go well because the horse picked up on my body language and probably everything else. And it took off in one direction and it ran down on the side of a hill. And I lost my hat. And I don't think I fell off. I can't remember, but and I was like in my early 20s. And I think I've been on one horse since. But horses do fascinate me. I just didn't understand anything about them.
Thank you. Yeah, yeah, the horse would have picked up on everything. That's true.
You're right.
Yeah. Hmm. I love that too, bringing that into the field also. Yeah, thank you, Gary. Hmm. 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 Alex actually shared something when we were talking about horses this last few days, and it goes with what Megan was talking about, and also kind of the like Gary's story contrasted with some of the other stories. With horses, there's both, and then when you add this fire element, it really steps things up because there's such a gentleness with horses, but there's also very fast movement and precise movement. Like it's this like almost a whirlwind. So it's super interesting to hold that extreme movement and
And
I
the slow
mean,
blink.
and
Yeah, the energy of the slow blink. Yeah.
the slow blink and
Yeah.
the heart coherence. It's like to hold such extreme relaxation, gentleness, and synchronized nervous systems with, potentially getting bucked or um, horses are massive, as Megan pointed out. So it's both in this horse energy. So it's just fascinating to.
If you've ever been to the racetrack, feeling like the thundering clap as they move by, it's just unbelievable,
Mhm.
They're just massive animals. I mean, so this year is already off to it feels like a fire horse year, man. I'll tell you what, I feel like I'm behind already constantly. And one way that it's manifested in our lives, we have these two giant black labs, and actually they're mixed with Great Pyrenees. They're these just enormous dogs showed up. And they were here for a while, and we took care of them, and then eventually we found out who the owner was. We got it back to the owner, and then they came and showed up again. So I called the owner again, and he was like, I think they're yours now. And so now they're our dogs. We've been taking care of them out here, and they are so big. They almost have a horse-like energy of them. Their own. They race by. They'll like we put a fence up around in our front yard, and they run the whole thing in this big dog run they have out there, and they love it. But oh my goodness, that is just representative of like the whole energy of this year already has been. And yeah, I always feel like I'm behind. I'm like, I didn't know this year was coming, kind of. And then she was telling me, oh, it's the fire horse year, we're gonna do fire horse this coming month. And I was like, well, that makes sense. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Mhm.
So hell, now we've added a couple of dogs to the horse field too.
Yep. Yep, big young dogs in the horse field too.
Horse-like dogs.
Horse-like dogs, yeah. They're similar because they have such a gentleness, but they're also huge, so they can tip you over. Thank you. Hold on. Hmm. 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 Well, does anything else want to get shared or anything else want to be brought into this already powerful field?
Well, this is not exactly a like biological horse, but while you were going through the presentation, I hadn't thought about this for years, and I think I even have a photo of this somewhere, so maybe I'll try to bring it for next time. But when I was a child, one of my very first toys that I can remember actually playing with was a horse, and you would sit upon it. It was like suspended on springs, so you could like kind of ride and bounce on it. If you were much bigger than like a toddler, you wouldn't be able to use this toy. We'd probably break it, but it was perfect size for me at the time. What I remember in my mind about it is that it was enormous, and I can remember seeing the pictures later. Like, it's so small, It's like it's kind of funny. But I actually had like that's the first toy I can remember really having like affection for. Like I used to go up to the horse's like nose and like pet it, even though it's plastic, basically, and then I'd like kiss it and stuff, like this little child. But it always brought me such joy. So anyway, I just thought I'd share that memory, and I'll look for that photo.
That'd be great. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you.
Yep.
I'll even the plastic horse's heart feels. Hmm.
Well, I'm going to speak up without my picture on because every time I put it on, I disappear. I have changed my provider, and it seemed good for a couple of days, and now they explain why this happens a lot at night and the weekend. And so I have stable internet. I'm just testing this one out for free for 2 weeks. So far, it's been I had before, but tonight it's been the worst that it's been in 6 days. So I'm sitting here with a grin from ear to ear from all of your beautiful shares, and you've all evoked some memory of that beautiful week I had with horses, and from their soft lips, touching your skin. And we were with them in a circle, 15 of them. And the first day, the memory when you talked about, and I missed a lot of the presentation because I was blinking in and out, but we're to the horse from 50 feet with our eyes and our energy. And we all thought that was kind of crazy. And there were 7 or 8 of us in this retreat, and so the horses were at the far end of the field, just about 50 feet away, and we were behind the gate at the other end of the practice field where we would do all of our work with them. And it was amazing. The horse that you saw tonight that I was standing in the sunrise with, his name was Beauty, and Beauty and I connected for 50 feet. And I saw someone else, and then they allowed us to walk towards, and then I saw someone else walking towards Beauty also. And I thought, oh, maybe I need to find another horse. I faltered. I wobbled in my knowing that was the horse, and that person started to move away, and Beauty and I did make that connection that he was the main horse that I was connecting with the whole week. And it didn't we all can with many horses, but eye contact.
I think Suwon's internet
Flipped out again. Yeah.
The good thing is we have the whole month, so
Yes.
that's good. Yeah. We'll hold Suwon, and we will hold her internet and horses. Oh, Suwon.
Can be like a serial story, she left us on a cliffhanger, like what's gonna happen next?
Arrive next week and
Yeah. Learn about Swan and Beauty. Yeah.
Actually, that's a good idea. And Suwon, if you can hear me, if you have any other photos that you want shared, we could just put up a few extra photos of beauty or you in beauty and or over the next weeks. And maybe I'll message that too in case he doesn't hear.
Yeah.
'Cause that would be-
Can you hear me? I can hear you now.
You can. Okay, good.
Yes.
You're you're kind of garbly. It's hard to hear.
Probably. Oh
Yeah.
dear. Okay. Well, I'm so sorry. Whatever you can feel my heart. I hope with these horses, and I'll hopefully get stabilized.
Sure.
Mm-hmm. And bring as she's gone.
To be continued.
Yeah, to be continued. Exactly. It's the cereal. Yeah, that's good. Well, okay. So we know that it's in the field and it'll continue to be in the field. Yeah.
We are also a little bit more rural. I think like Swan, we're more rural, and we've tried a lot of internet providers before we finally found one that worked here. So
It's hard. Yeah.
the struggle is real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we have plenty of weeks ahead, Suan, to share. So anything that arises, any photos you want to share, just, message us. So we can move into bringing anyone into the field that wants to be there. Okay, good, Suan. Thank you. I want to bring Irene. She's been having strong chi purifications. So we'll bring Irene into the field and chi purifications in general.
I want to bring Bobby into the field too.
Oh, thank you, Angie. Mhm.
I want to bring Laura into the field.
Mhm. Mhm. Mm.
I'd like to bring my grandson Alexander into the field. He's a physiotherapist and he has very excessive anxiety. It's just crippling.
Mhm. Bring him into the field. Thank you, Lillian.
Thank you.
And Swan, we saw your text to bring Bodhi into the field.
Yep. We bring Bodhi into the field. Hmm.
I want to bring Marilyn Glickman and her family into the field.
Marilyn Glickman and her family.
May she start eating like a horse.
Mm.
Right? Don't they say hungry as a horse? So,
Hungry as a horse, yeah.
yeah, that's what we
Yeah.
want to send her. Yeah.
So a good, healthy horse appetite.
I'd like to bring Karen in the field.
Mm.
On the 17th, she's going to have back surgery.
Oh, all right.
That's
Do you
next
know what
week.
time? Yeah. Do you know what?
Well, I have to check in at 8:30, so, but it's not major back surgery. It's for my sciatica, so it's not super, super serious, but
So you're
I
So-
still want to be in the field.
You there anyway.
Thank you, Karen. Thank you, Carrie.
I'd like to bring our daughter-in-law, Sophie, into the field. She's has epilepsy quite severely and it's affected her brain. And so she's been going through a recovery for the last almost 7 years now. And she'll never be able to work again. She did have 3 jobs and 5 degrees. And so she's come a long way and she still needs a lot of recovery, and we love her dearly. And our son is the support person for her, and I'd like to bring him in the field to keep him strong and in balance. From the whole trauma of the event. After she was intubated for 3.5 months, in the hospital for 6 months when it first started, ASO. And she has a VNS and a DBS, and still under a lot of care with specialists and out of the city in London. So thank you very much for holding them in the field.
Sophie. And your son's name?
Rodney.
Rodney. Sophie and Rodney. Thank you, Lillian.
Thank you.
All right. So we have our voiced loved ones in the field and any unvoiced loved ones also in the field. And we can move into our formal meditation. Find a comfortable posture, seated, standing, or laying down. And take your time arriving in your posture. Feeling the surface supporting you, the sits bones, the bottoms of the feet rooting into the earth, the spine lengthening, the crown of the head reaching up to the heaven, connecting between heaven and earth, making any small movements. And as we invite our eyes to close, if they haven't already, and even if they have, we can imagine that softening of the head and face, the jaw, and we can connect with that slow blink, that mutual exchange of trust and love. As we rest here in this vast heart field brought to us by horses, by our collective consciousness field, and all of our baby hearts. And as we rest here in this heart field, we feel all of the childlike energy and wonder that came up with horses from our pasts, the older energy of our horse experiences, all of it just resting here in the field with us, inviting it to soften and open and merge in this field that we've already created. And in this state of peaceful awareness, we can invite our consciousness into the center of the head, feeling the upper dantian, and just gazing at the head inner space, with that soft, loving gaze that we saw in the beautiful horse's eyes, and allowing it to fill the upper dantian. Maybe sighing, taking a few deep breaths. As the head inner space relaxes, the eyes relax, and the mouth and the jaw just opening the ears. The entirety of the head inner space relaxes and harmonizes. Feeling that merging with the chi of the universe. In this same peaceful awareness, this relaxation flows through the neck, the shoulders, arms, out to the hands, and into the chest, filling the middle dantian. Again, inviting that loving horse's gaze, that peaceful awareness to flow into the center of the chest, directly connecting with the heart, feeling our own baby heart. And relaxing with the heart space, relaxing as our baby hearts merge and transform together, harmonizing. And this relaxation and harmony move into the lungs and the breasts, all of the spaces of the middle dantian. And again, we can sigh, inviting that relaxation, that mutual exchange of loving energy to flow in, merging and transforming with the middle dantian, the chest inner space, clear, harmonious, and opening. That inner space opening and merging with universe chi. And we invite this same peaceful awareness, this relaxed presence to flow into the Huanyuan Palace. Again, inviting that horse's loving gaze to rest in the Huanyuan Palace, harmonizing with our emotions, our emotional body, allowing the unconditionally loving gaze, the powerful heart field to merge and transform with our organs and our emotions. Sighing if it feels good. The Huanyuan Palace softens. It softens and it opens. And that harmonious merging and transforming expands inward and outward, merging with the Chi universe. And this same peaceful, relaxed awareness flows into the lower dantian, Mingmen inner palace, all the organs of the lower abdomen, again held in this loving gaze of the horse, feeling the beautiful horse's eyes. In the lower dantian, Mingmen inner palace, and all of our precious organs open, soften, inviting them to relax and harmonize. Harmonize in this powerful heart field, in our many intentions for healing, balance, and love. And then we feel our awareness in the lower dantian, behind the navel, open and radiate out, allowing this loving gaze to open to the entirety of the chi body, the entirety of the consciousness field, our wholeness, our coherence, held in this loving gaze, opening inwardly, outwardly, allowing the boundaries to soften and dissolve as we harmonize and harmonize. merging with universe chi, held in this vast heart field of our collective consciousness, all of our teachers, all of our healers, all wisdom traditions, all wisdom beings, horses, all held here together. And in this state, we feel love, peace, happiness, and gratitude. Mm. We invite this practice, our baby hearts, to return here whenever we forget, knowing that it's ever available. We can remember all of our horse experiences from the past and any that we've yet to encounter. And we can rest, especially when our days feel like they're moving too fast. We can return here at any time. And checking in and seeing if you'd like to stay in this formal healing field. Leaving whenever you're ready, allowing the Zoom to slip away. Otherwise, take a few deep breaths. Allowing the awareness to return to the body. Feeling the sits bones and the feet, connection to the earth. Any air on the skin, any sounds around you. And feel the hands and invite them to stack palm over palm at the navel. Feeling the entirety through this connection with the lower dantian. And allowing this to flow into the night ahead, the days, the week, the month. Haula, haula. And we give our gratitude for this time together, for the powerful horses. And releasing the hands, moving the body. Very slowly opening the eyes with as much relaxation as we can. Thank you.
Thank you, Elizabeth. Thank you, horses.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, and if anyone has anything that they want to share about horses or anything related, just message us, me or Megan. If you have photos or art, we can share it at the next meetings. So whatever comes to you. And if nothing comes or nothing is shared, that is also absolutely fabulous. So all of it. Yeah, thank you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you. This was lovely.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Have a great night, everybody.
Yep.
We'll
Bye-bye.
next week and in class during the week.
Hello.
Paula. Bye.